Tecware Impulse Pro opinion. The Impulse Pro is a fully ambidextrous mouse from Tecware's new lineup of gaming gear. It features an ODM shell with a low-profile design that mainly suits claw and fingertip grippers, though people with relatively small hands may be perfectly able to rest their palms on it comfortably. The surface is a grippy, slightly grainy matte coating on the top, while the sides are made out of slightly textured matte plastic with glossy inlays. Build quality is impressive, especially if we consider the fact that it's an ODM mouse. It pretty much has no issues besides slight creaking when the sides are pressed down on with great force. Quality control was pretty thorough it seems, both with the shell and the internals. In terms of weight, the mouse has a mass of roughly 104 grams by default. Unfortunately, there's a weight plate of 10 grams, which is utterly inexplicable. It requires the mouse to be disassembled to be taken out, which will probably void the warranty. Of course, most people won't be bothered by a little extra weight, but for such a low-profile mouse, it matters quite a lot in terms of feel. The 9 fully programmable buttons are mostly good. The main buttons are nice and tactile, without any significant unnecessary travel. They use Blue Shell Hono switches rated for 20 million clicks. With pretty much the same characteristics as the main ones, the CPI and lighting changers are also great. The scroll wheel is pretty good as well, however, while a matter of personal preference, it's less tactile than I'd like. As for the middle click, it's really stiff and takes a lot of force to actuate. The 2 rear side buttons are very mushy and have a lot of free travel. The front buttons are much better in every way. Sensor performance is excellent, the PMW3360 works as it should. This means tracking is raw, responsive, and without any anomalies. The set polling rates are nice and stable, and there's pretty much nothing to nitpick about except for the smoothing above 2000 CPI. For competitive gaming, it's best stay below 2000 CPI. Click latency is quite high, and I expect the company to release a fix for this in the near future. Not a huge issue in my book, it can be for competitive gaming. Mouse feet are once again nothing special, but they aren't bad by any means. They are rather smooth and of average friction, and replacements are in the box, so if the initial set wear out, you don't have to go for aftermarket ones. As for the cable, it could really be improved. It's overly stiff and quite thick and heavy, too. It generates a lot of drag resistance as well, unfortunately. The software driver is generic, but aside from its design, I really can't say anything negative about it. It works as intended and has many customization options. It's lightweight, too, taking up less than 5 megabytes of disk space, which is quite impressive. As for RGB lighting, it is there, of course, and all 3 zones can be made to light up in a myriad of different effects. It's not as bright as most mice I've reviewed lately, but can still be seen in broad daylight, so I wouldn't call that a negative. This mouse is not without small mishaps here and there, but overall, it's pretty impressive, especially considering its price tag. The main buttons are good, sensor performance is excellent, and the materials, surface coating, and build quality are all great. I hope the company will take the small things, such as the stiff cable, middle and side button quality, and weight, into consideration more with their future products, which would have me happily call them editor's choices. Until then, the Impulse Pro gets my recommendation given Tecware will look into lowering the click latency since it's a fair deal for $39.99.